Happy Friday from the swing. Oh, it's been beautiful. Love seeing all the trees. I got to show you this tree. Isn't that awesome? Anyway, okay, so last week I shared that I was going to talk a little bit about token economics, just some things I'm learning, starting to rethink how I use the models, the costs, because I don't know if you're seeing this, but if you're at any level where you're actually using maybe Claude or ChatGPT in coding or design or whatever, the last 3 months, especially this last month, definitely noticed a little more spinning wheel on some things and hitting token limits pretty quickly. And so it got me thinking, and I've been looking into the certification that Anthropic has, and one of the areas is token management for your organization. So thinking about what models to use and the cost of those models based on roles within your organization, and then kind of putting together your budget so that you know how much you should be spending by department, role, whatever. But it got me thinking, and I did a little research and just my understanding. So if you start a chat, let's say you're on the latest model 4.7, right? And there's a certain cost for models. And then as you go down in each model, they have specific use cases that they're good at. But even the basic free consumer, I think it's the 5.5 that just came out from Anthropic, scored really well across the board. So these aren't bad models. They aren't as good as the latest large models that are out there. But when you start thinking about this, so if you're in a chat session on let's say Claude, and you're maybe 20 to 30 chats in, every time you have a new chat question or next step, the model is looking at all the chat history. And so each one of those reviews of your previous chat is tokens. And so if you're in 20 or 30 deep on a chat session, it's 20x whatever the compute power is for those combined chats. So you can see if you're, and I'm guilty of this. I mean, I've 30, 40 minutes long chat sessions on trying to solve problems. So what I've found that helps this, and this is building out some skills that help you, one, kind of improve QA and quality as you're kind of trying to do problem solving. So, I mean, first off, if you're writing or doing some basic things, pick a lower model. You could ask ChatGPT, maybe lower the model so you're not paying for, and just ask what models are the best for writing, research, and then just make sure you remind yourself, put a sticky on your monitor, pick the right model, because that will help you with your token amount. But if you're trying to do coding, or if you're trying to do something big like building a website or something along those lines, one, figure out your model plan, but also two, try to go with maybe no more than 10 chat questions. Stop, and what I've done to really help is you create a kind of a project skill, and I put this markdown file in all of my projects, and then I create a skill that allows me to just type update project. So what I've done in the skill is just the agent will then review the chat history. It will outline the best part or solutions or learnings from that chat history. It'll update the markdown file, and then I can start a new chat. Then I can ask it to just go read the markdown file to start, and in that way it remembers the history, everything learned. It's a good QA. Part two is to then ask what were the lessons learned, what was the best outcomes, and you can start kind of doing some QA in your projects as you're going. I've also set this up as some automations so that if I'm running something that has a long run time, I have the project, part of the skill for that project or the request is to stop after 5 to 10. I set it based on what I'm trying to accomplish, but set that as a stopping point for the agent. This works well when you have multiple agents working together. So then what you can do is you can have agent one do some work, stop, update the project file. If all the agents share the project file, then the second agent can pick up some work, know what's happened from the first agent, learn from that agent, and then progress. A little more in depth on that one, but so anyway, why does this matter? I know I was talking to somebody, they're like, I don't care, my company pays for my tokens. I think if you're following the news, you're realizing we're in a token shortage. There's a lot of scramble. Costs are going to be going up. I've talked to a couple of friends of mine who are developers who are like, they've got wind that we're going to see a 5 to 10x increase in token costs for the larger models starting in June. So as you're sitting there and helping out the overall, I guess, token pool that we have, is think about the token, or think about the models that you are actually using to try to help, I guess, the greater good, and also just, allow you to do more work without hitting your limits. Nothing worse than being in a project and have it say, you've hit your token limit. You got to wait till 3 a.m. in the morning. All right, well, hopefully that was helpful. Have a great Friday, and hope you're doing something fun this weekend. Remember, it's Mother's Day on Sunday, so do something nice for your mom, and have a great rest of your day. All right, thanks for watching. Lee from XM Elevation.